Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is a tarot oracle reading, Tattletales from Tales from the Vector. This is a general or collective reading, meaning parts may or may not resonate with you. Take what works for you and leave the rest. Also, this is a timely reading, meaning that if you're watching it at this time, this is the perfect time for you. Whoops, I have my deck upside down. All right. If it's been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then, that might give you further clarity as to your situation now. We're going to begin this reading here now. And I'm just double checking. Yes, you'll be able to see this to the end. I was doing other readings in a different format, so I just want to make sure you'll be able to see this at the end. All right, we do have the Knight of Wands as the underlying energy for this reading. This is also the energy of the fiery horse energy. This is on February 17th. The Chinese New Year was, and we moved from the Year of the Snake into the fiery horse energy. So very similar. This is Sagittarius energy, and this is a rebel with a cause. This is talking about someone who's very adventurous and full of passion. He represents the element of fire, and the fire energy, it's a wand, and it's made of wood. Wood does fuel fire, so this is talking about taking passionate action. He has this big red plume on the back of his helmet saying that he can be impulsive, and he might have a bit of a temper here, but he's learned to rein it in, to discipline himself, discipline his emotions and his mind to be able to get a better result. The horse in tarot here represents passion and heartfelt energy. And also in the background, we have these pyramids, and this is talking about the wonders of the world, basically, and wanting to explore those. So the rebel with a cause is on a mission. He's delivering some sort of communication or information. That's what this represents. In the old days, this would always be in person, with a note or in that way. But these days, we have so many forms of communication. You don't want to be sitting around waiting for someone to knock on your door. This is talking about, it could be a phone call, it could be a text message, it could be something that arrives in the mail. You might have like an email, possibly you're on social media on one of the many platforms and receive a message. There also could be some energy coming in about like an event, and then you see that, you attend the event, and next thing you know, you run into the person exactly who you wanted to communicate with. And this also is saying, check out what's going on at the top of the pyramid, because whatever's going on at the top is definitely going to affect everybody underneath to a certain extent. And yeah, so this is talking about that communication coming in. The warning with the fiery horse energy, I mean, it's really, really strong energy in many ways. But two things that you really need to watch out for is being too impulsive. You don't want to be impulsive in the year of the fiery horse energy. We've been in here since February 17th, and we'll be in this energy until I think it's the 6th of February, 2027. And so, if you've ever seen a horse get the bit in the mouth and take off and run, it's not a fun thing to be on that horse. It's a rough ride, and it can be really dangerous and take you way off your path. So this is saying avoid impulsive behavior and like hot-headed emotions, acting out on that. It's okay to feel passion, but you want to be controlled in your actions. And this is also talking about this energy really asks you to set high goals, and it's very inspiring that way. But you also need to make sure that you give yourself enough time to reach your goals so that you're not running yourself, like burning the candle at both ends and then not being able to cross the finish line because you're so tired. And we have the energy from my oracle. This is Harmony. She is representing the throat chakra. She's from the Pleiades. And this energy, she's the superstar. And this is about the throat chakra, as I said. So this is about being able to speak your truth and to sing to your heart's content. Harmony is talking about having really beautiful words to say about yourself as well as others. And we have the Page of Swords energy. The Page of Swords is talking about a breath of fresh air, basically. The pages are a younger version of the knights. They would start working for the king and queen around 7 to 14, which may sound really young, and it is, but back in those days, the life expectancy was only about half of what we have now. So, you know, people went to work much earlier out of necessity. If a person could land a job in the, you know, working for the king and queen in the palace, that would be a real coup. Much better employment than elsewhere. And this is talking about each of the pages has an element. Their main task would be to deliver communication within the palace walls, and that would be running small tasks and errands as well. And as they, gained maturity and they would be given more responsibility, when they were an adult, they could be even considered for knighthood, as long as they had enough money to buy their own horse. So that was this Page of Swords is representing the energy, the element of air, and it's represented by the swords, which is talking about your mental intelligence and discipline of your mind. The Page of Swords energy is like a breath of fresh air. This is someone who has a lot of new ideas. They're innovative. He is the only one that's not totally focused on his element. He is looking away from it, actually, because he already understands the logical question, and he's looking away from the logic now, and he's thinking outside of the box and looking towards his intuition. And so this energy is talking about that type of energy of mixing your logic and your intuition. They're double-edged swords. The communication coming in, it's saying something about some sort of communication. This could also be within yourself. Communication, where you have an aha moment and it's like, I remember. Or it's like, if you've been trying to remember someone's name all day and then when you're doing dishes, 3 hours later, you remember, his name was Bob. It's that kind of energy. And then we have the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands is talking about the energy of the beginning of fulfillment. And this is basically the official marriage card. It also can, it doesn't have to be marriage. It can represent the commitments of many kinds. So it's commitment, partnerships, and marriage. This is basically saying that you do have the down payment for your castle. Congratulations, that's a huge feat to accomplish. And it's talking about, but now you need to, someone's popped the question, the answer's been yes, you're planning the wedding, and then you have to apply yourself to the relationship, like put some energy into it every day so that it remains fulfilling and gets stronger and more fulfilling as days go by. We have this energy of heartbreak. We can see, this is a disturbing card. There's 3 swords in the heart. This energy is talking sometimes about a heartbreaking decision needing to be made. This can talk about the energy of harsh words being spoken, arguments, possibly this could be gossip, slander. Sometimes it represents perjury in court. This 3 swords here, this one in the middle of these 2, can represent a third party energy in romantic love. This person may be afraid to speak their truth. And so this is talking about, having to heal from this energy, and also perhaps there needs to be some forgiveness. Now, forgiveness is actually for yourself. It's not saying that you condone someone's actions if they've gone out of their way to hurt you. It doesn't mean that you want to hang out with the person. You don't even have to tell them that you forgive them. It's about wanting to heal your heart so that you can move forward and have the love that you want in your life. And so this is talking about that energy. And when you look at this, you know, you see three swords in a heart. How is someone supposed to get over this? But when you look at it a second time, you realize that heart is really big in comparison to the swords. So, you know, they're more like nails, which is really bad, but it's not as bad, or stakes, you know, instead of, could be vampire energy they're avoiding. So this is justice. Justice is talking about the energy of, you know, from the spiritual realm coming down to the physical. She is wielding the sword of justice, and you can see her right foot is forward, about ready to wield that sword as soon as she's given the go-ahead by the Most High. This is talking about the thin veil between the physical realm and the spiritual realm. And also, this can be redemption from karma, and karma, you know, is part of justice. So, you know, a lot of people feel karma is punishment, but karma is actually just cause and effect of your actions. And so, you know, if you could have direct karma from directly doing something to harm another human being, cause a lot of suffering. This can be talking about, you know, direct. This is direct. It was your actions. And this can also be your inactions, when you can see that someone is suffering and in a lot of, you know, needs help, and you don't take action. You could, but you just don't. And this can also be indirect karma, which is talking about sometimes, quite often, the ancestors' energy. Your ancestors may not have been able to finish whatever they came here to accomplish, and may have accrued karma, and that debt has to be cleared by the bloodline, basically. So that it could be associated through them. It could be even associated through descendants, if they're, you know, as well. It could be represented it can be associates that you work with, friends, family, that sort of energy. And then we also have the karmic spaces, which we can all fall into very easily. And we have the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is talking about three wheels actually coming together, the past, the present, and the future. So this is all coming together in synchronicity into the moment. And on there's actually these three wheels, and the one wheel has the letters of the name of God, the Hebrew letters, and this is talking about tetragrammaton, which is a sacred geometric symbol representing equalization of all forces and an energy of being 100% in divine order. This is talking about being on God's plan. The Wheel of Fortune is a sign of good fortune after having difficulty, and it's saying that the wheel is turning in your, this is a Sagittarius energy as well. So the Sagittarius energy is coming out quite a bit because we just had that blue moon in Sagittarius. And this also, the constellation of Sagittarius has a black hole in it. And a lot of people feel that that is the cosmic heart energy, the heart of the Milky Way. And then we have the Five of Swords. So the Five of Swords, again, this energy is talking about the sword energy. Now, when it comes out, when these two come out together, these two sword cards come out together, this can be, this is talking about cutthroat energy, like someone willing to risk everything to win. That's the energy. And so this can represent either an external conflict where you are being forced to fight other people who are in this cutthroat energy. And this is coming, you know, this person has already fought with these two people, and he's like, is there another one out here? Because I'm going to fight for what's mine. We see the jagged clouds in the background. This is very, very aggressive energy. That outer conflict quite often will create inner conflict, and inner conflict will attract outer conflict. This is talking, if it's inner conflict, this is considered to be the three different versions of yourself. And so this energy is talking about, you know, your subconscious mind, and that is formed by the time you are about 6 or 7. And it's, you know, your subconscious mind is heavily imprinted on you, and it is imprinted because of when you're a baby, you're like a sponge, and you're absorbing your environment and the thoughts and ideas of the people around you up to the age of 5 or 6. A lot of times we don't remember this time ourselves very well. We have to ask the people who were in charge of our care, what was I like? Rely on photos, videos now. So this subconscious mind is basically the thoughts of other people that were in charge of our care, and the culture that they were, the environment they provided, the culture they provided, how they approached money, relationships with people, money, business, work, etc. And so it's not necessarily the most reliable mind to rely on, but it's the one that when we are triggered, that's when the subconscious mind comes up. Hello, this is what you should do. And then this is the unconscious mind. The unconscious mind is your spiritual needs. You think about being a human being with the soul, but from the soul's perspective, you are a soul traveling in a human body as your vehicle to navigate the world. And this energy is talking about, being like if the subconscious or the unconscious mind does not have its needs satisfied, then it will start arguing with the subconscious and the conscious mind. The conscious mind is what you are totally aware of. You have memory of it. You could relate the story like this guy could be saying, I just fought these 2 dudes. I cleaned their clock. If there's anyone else wanting to come by, here I am. I still have swords left. I'm fighting for what is mine. And I'm willing to risk everything I have to be able to protect what I have. And so that's the energy there. Now, when we see these 2 cards together, the good side of both of these energies is that if you can tame your mind and you can teach it and through meditation and prayer to be quiet so that you can feel the needs of your heart and the needs of your soul, then your subconscious, unconscious, and conscious mind come together. And this can represent, congruence between them. So it calms the mind down, and it's plugged into then your authentic desires from your heart. And then you can sing like from your heart, like harmony here. Have more harmonious words so you're not attracting this conflict, It's sometimes we have to stand up and fight for ourselves, but some people get into the habit of of always having to battle for everything. And it's not a pleasant energy to be in. It's exhausting and inefficient. Now this is talking about the 2 of Pentacles. So the Pentacle energy in Tarot is representing health, wealth, and happiness in the 3D. The 2 of Pentacles energy is talking about lifestyle for sure, like juggling. It can be work hard, play hard. You might be juggling 2 jobs to make ends meet. You might be juggling maybe work and school because you're still, you have to pay for school and you're still attending school. This energy, Pentacle energy, you could, it is representing money. This is the element of earth. You need money on the 3D, in the 3D world, to be able to have a good life and to have a good lifestyle. But this is saying, you could have all the money in the world, but if you don't have love and you don't have health, then you're not going to be as, you're not going to be living the lifestyle that is the best in the world either. So this also can talk about being really super busy, like with your lifestyle, and multitasking is a really good skill to have. But this card is warning, just kind of like this energy here, about becoming like busy just for the sake of being busy and then not having any downtime and wearing yourself out. It's also saying juggle your options, but never juggle your morals. And we have the 10 of Wands here. So the 10 of Wands energy is talking about carrying a heavy load. And I just want to point out that I'm making a pyramid here. And this bottom row here, is kind of giving us, okay, where are we at in this reading? The background energy is about harmony, having harmony in your life, a desire for that, using, having harmonious words and using harmonious words, and being able to sing to your heart's content. And it's about a rebel with a cause that is passionate about what you're doing. You may have just had a real aha moment. There could be a commitment coming in. Someone may have proposed to you, or you may have proposed to someone, or made some sort of commitment in business or whatever. And this is talking about a heartbreaking, potentially a heartbreaking decision needs to be made. It could talk about a third-party energy in romantic life, or it could just be about this good energy of quieting your mind so that you can feel what your authentic desires are to move forward. There's some sort of justice coming in. The Wheel of Fortune is turning in your favor. And, this energy can be talking about quieting that mind, understanding that that's what you want to do so that you can be in this more harmonious energy. And, being too busy in that, being careful not to be in that energy so much that you can't cross the finish line because you exhaust yourself. And that's where this person is. And so this line that we're moving into is about the obstacles, facing obstacles. So this is like being so busy and multitasking because of, and look at like the heavy load this person is carrying. So the thing about this is the Ten of Wands is representing, basically the seeds that you've planted through your actions growing into these wands, and now they have fruit on them. And so this is about bringing your harvest home. And this load is heavy, so it might be heavy with the fruits of your labors, and it's good that it's heavy then. But what it is saying is sometimes we could be carrying the burdens from other people. And this is saying it's time to put down any burdens that don't belong to you. The Wheel of Fortune is turning in your favor. And it's saying justice for something is coming in. You don't want to be carrying the burdens of other people and then get hit with their karma because you're still associated with them. Or you're involved in some way with that energy. So this is saying put down any burdens that don't belong to you. Just drop them in the field here. This guy, there's a saying, you can't see the forest because of the trees. And this is like when you are so focused on the details in your life, you can't see the big picture anymore. He has no idea how close he is to home because, his head's in here. And so he's like maybe 10 minutes from home here. But what he needs to do is just take a moment to check in and decide, okay, is there any burdens here that don't belong to me? I need to lay them down, or else I'm too exhausted to get home. And also, it can be talking about like the energy of like perhaps one of these fruits of his labor are like, okay, maybe 5 years ago he purchased a house and it was a good buy and he's enjoyed living in it, but he's wanting to move on right now, and he needs to sell that house. And so now maybe the market is a bit soft and he has to do some work on it, and he has to paint the inside, and he needs to find a good realtor and make sure that, everything's taken care of, and then show it. And it's a lot of work selling a home. And so it's not like this is still an asset, but it's become burdensome to him. But maybe he could hire someone to do the painting instead of doing it himself. And he could maybe look into getting, a house cleaner to clean up before he has the showings, like the open houses and stuff, just to give himself a little bit more time and energy for himself. There's always solutions to this energy. So put down any burdens that don't belong to you, and maybe find alternative ways to free up a little bit of your time so that you can rest a bit and enjoy some, like a balance in your lifestyle. And this is also saying, don't quit. You're so close to home. Many people quit just before they're about to reach their goal. And then we have the Strength card. So this is talking about having the strength and the integrity to be able to face whatever this heartbreaking situation is about. And it's talking about sometimes when we're in this kind of energy, It can be related back to our subconscious mind quite often, like fears that we've had since we were a child that maybe didn't, we were taught when we were younger, like the fear of spiders or something, that sort of energy. And so this is talking about healing the inner child, and she's determined to reach her infinite potential, this young woman. So she's reaching into this male lion. It's a mature male lion, and she's reaching deep into his mouth. And that's talking about her reaching deep into herself to face her fears. And so he's got his tail tucked under because he's being submissive. He can tell she means business. And then this energy is talking about the 10 of Cups. So the Cups energy is all about love. It can be romantic love, and quite often is, but it also could be representing all sorts of love. And this card is quite often talking with the rainbow about having a really like ultimate fulfillment in love after hardship. And so it's like, having all the different ways that you can have love in your life, the companion, your children, the neighbors, maybe your career is doing well, your clients, you love them, they love you. It's that type of energy of after hardship having a fulfilling life. Now, is it going to be perfect? It's going to be an ultimate fulfillment in a perfectly imperfect world. And then we have, this is an Ace of Cups coming in. So maybe this is what you're missing in your life. Maybe you've been very busy taking care of business here, working. It looks like you've been really putting a lot of energy into your work. You're passionate about it. But maybe you're wanting to have passion and love now. And so here you are. Aha. Here is God, the divine, and the universe collaborating to bring you this beautiful cup of love. This is talking about, peaceful, everlasting love that's overflowing. And so it's like a fountain. It just keeps refilling. And it's also talking about the water lilies growing here are representing out of the mud grows a lot of beauty. So when you are in this energy, if you learn from this energy and you work with it and you, do your best to stay on a strong path and, love yourself, then you are going to be able to overcome these obstacles. And this is having the courage to do so. And so the King of Swords is talking about someone that is intellectual. This energy, the King of Swords understands the power of words. He has the word words in his in between the two S's. And this is saying, this is someone that understands that words can be uplifting and they can also be used as weapons. This energy is representing someone who uses their intellect, discipline of their mind, and the power of their knowledge of words. This could represent someone who's educated. Quite often this would be like, instead of someone that is physically laboring for their occupation, this would be someone that is using their education, their words, their and their education, their words, and their intelligence to be able to earn their living. This would be someone possibly that would be in the legal system quite often. It could be representing judges, head prosecutors. This would be someone higher up, like someone that has been has established themselves. And so because we have the king here. And so this could be, if this is a lawyer, this would be a lawyer that would be most likely in maybe a partner in a prestigious firm. And this could represent a best-selling author that has written a book. It could be a veterinarian, a dentist, a surgeon, someone, a psychiatrist. Possibly this could represent the energy of politicians. We do have a king here, so it could be the president, a prime minister, the people at the top of the, running the world, basically, the Congress, the Senate, the energy of, the lawmakers of the land, basically. This could also represent someone that's doing research and maybe finds a cure and wins the Nobel Peace Prize. It could be talking about intellectual material, inventors, engineers, all of those different ways of earning a living. And so this is the energy. And the thing to know about the King of Swords, he does understand how to use words. And he also understands that if you give your word, and then, actions speak louder than words. If you give your word and then you don't take action, then, your word really becomes useless. And we have the Four of Pentacles energy, which it can be talking about selling yourself short in some way. Out of the Pentacle cards, as I said, they represent lifestyle. But this card is actually representing the 3 levels of making money. There's safe money, there's heart's desires, and there's your crown and glory. And this person, you notice they have their back to the city. And this is saying that this could be like having to leave your comfort zone and to take a calculated risk sometimes to move into the next level. This is saying you have a strong foundation, but you can pay your bills, but you don't have much left over for your heart's desires and your crown and glory. So to move up from one level to the next, you need to be willing to take calculated risks, and be able to move into the next level. Sometimes this can require you leaving your comfort zone. Make sure that you get good advice, from lawyers, especially when it comes to business, etc., and also from financial advisors. And that we don't have any King of Pentacles out here as of yet, but that might show up. So this can talk about in the past maybe selling yourself short or others selling you short. There could be a shortfall of money, but it is saying that you are considering there's something, maybe you have an idea and you're going to take a risk here to move forward in maybe putting that idea into action. And this might even be something that you've always wished for. That's what this card is representing. This is the 9 of Cups before you get the 10 of Cups here. And this is what we're saying is, to have this, you sometimes have to be willing to take that extra step to get home. And so this energy is talking, this could be a public figure. You could be a public figure. There could be someone who's a public figure involved. We do have an Ace of Cups here, so it could be an energy of someone that works for the public or has a public platform, that sort of energy. We have 9 cups here, and this, we can't tell if this is on the shelf behind him. Is it above his head, or is this, forward of him? So is he, this is the past, present, or future, where these cups are showing up. And we do have this saying that there's an offer coming in. Now, this could be from the King of Swords coming in. Now, remember, the King of Swords, and it's interesting because we do have information coming in or communication from the Page of Swords who works for the King of Swords, right? So this could be about love. It's in between them. That definitely could be. And maybe this is, maybe the King of Swords, maybe that's your energy, or the King of Swords has proposed. And this is after some sort of hardship. Now, the King of Swords quite often can be someone who's divorced. The King and Queen are the most likely to be divorced out of all the kings. There's 4 kings and 4 queens. A lot of the time because they overthink a lot of things, and the other is because of the energy of the overthinking is a big part. But when you see them together, if the queen comes out, they're never looking at each other. They're always it's like they don't even notice that each other exists at times. And this is talking about the Tower. So definitely a Tower did hit in the past, I feel. And so this card is saying you have to maintain your focus to be able to get what you want here. And for whatever reason, it feels like whatever is going on, there's some sort of public energy around it. Now, that could belong to the King of Swords. It could belong to you if you're not the King of Swords. But it's something, maybe something in the past happened because we have this heartache that we needed to get over. But, this is also talking about overcoming this energy in this row here. So this definitely would be when the Wheel of Fortune started turning this inner and outer conflict into an energy to heal the heart And now this other, you've had the courage to really move forward in this. This tower could be a tower that's happening now, or it could be a tower that happened in the past that caused the wheel of fortune to turn. Remember, with tarot readings, the past, the present, and the future come in and out, kind of expansion and contraction. So the tower is talking about when the universe is whispering to you at first, hey, you want to take a look at that, you need to look at that, but you don't hear or you don't listen. Then the next thing is like you get the frying pan treatment, whack on the head, and you're like, ow, that hurt. Why are you doing that? And the universe is, because you need to pay attention. There's something you need to look at here. And then the 2x4 comes out and you still don't. So then bang, the lightning hits the tower, and this energy, now your castle's on fire and it's going to have to be rebuilt, and the two people are falling out of it. One looks shocked and the other one looks like, oh, I knew I should have taken care of this. So this reality check energy could be third-party energy with this card here. It could be something. It could be something about business here. Because most of this reading is pretty good, actually. But there might have been some sort of temptation somewhere here, and that there's definitely some justice wanting to come in for something. Let's keep going and just see what's going on here. The disappointment in love, regret and remorse. That's the energy I was picking up here. It's not uncommon for it to be like, look at the anatomy of the explosion, right? And so this is talking about remorse and regret over a loss that cannot be recovered. If you've ever heard the saying, don't cry over spilt milk, this is talking about this energy. Once the milk is spilt in the ground, you're not going to be able to recover it. You have to accept this as a loss. And there could be regret or remorse around that. Now we have 2 cups here of wine and 1 cup of another liquid. And we have this card here saying there could have been a third-party energy. So it could have been like you were married, and this could be representing I feel this is past energy, because we have this new love coming in. And this is like, this card is representing fortune after difficulty. This could represent the divorce is now finalized or whatever, and now you have half the pentacles that you used to. That'd be about right. I think that's what it's saying. But we do have this rebel with a cause coming in. Oh, life can be so irritating at times. So remorse and regret, this could belong to the third-party energy. It could belong to you, your partner, who. So it could belong to all of you. You might regret or have remorse for having ever married this person. If they are the ones that cheated on you, they might have regret for having done it because now they've lost you. This could be the regret of the third-party energy because they ended up they have your partner now and they wish they didn't. It could be that kind of regret. The world is a funny place. And so this is talking about, you could stand there in this energy for a very long time and for the rest of your life, actually. And some people do, but that would be a shame because everybody deserves to have love and harmony in their life. And, Harmony is such a happy dragon. She's singing her heart out and saying, go for it. You deserve love. Pick up the 2 cups behind you. Have gratitude for them. A big part of having harmony in your life is having gratitude and having appreciation for what you already have. So pick those 2 cups up, walk down the path, cross over the bridge over troubled waters, and go to your castle and sort through your harvest, what's still left. And this energy is talking like, the castle is half dilapidated and half standing. This can represent the energy of, what's your attitude going to be? Is this glass going to be half full, or are you going to look at it as a half empty cup? And then we have, look at this, the truth coming out. The truth will always set you free. There's a lot of truth coming out. That energy is really very prominent right now and will be for some time. We have the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. We had Uranus move into the sign of Gemini about a month ago. And bottom line is, you can go back and look at my astrological readings from May and June. There's a lot of energy around that, because the last time Uranus was in the sign of Gemini was back in 1941 to 1949, during the World War II energy. And this was like a real, challenging energy for the entire world. And we're kind of revisiting some of that similar type of energy here. And you may have been noticing all these weird truths coming out in weird ways. That's the Gemini energy. Gemini can be like there's a lot of gossip, gossipy energy around that. And the Gemini energy, this is the Uranus is going to be in the sign of Gemini for the next 7.5 to 8 years. It is so basically until 2033. And so we're seeing a lot of truths coming out in weird ways, and a lot of weird truths coming out. It's like quite like, this is the way it's going to be for the next 7.5 to 8 years. May as well, get the popcorn out and just enjoy it. What are you going to do? If you're on the right side of the law, the truth is going to set you free. And if you're on the wrong side of the law, well, then you're going to have to deal with whatever happened spiritually and or in the 3D. And so, but I'm a big fan of the truth. I feel, a truth a day keeps the devil at bay. It's pretty weird energy out there right now, though. A lot of people are feeling a little bit exhausted from it, I feel. You can really feel that energy right now. And this is talking about the Eight of Wands. This is the Nine of Wands. So the 8 behind this is the wounded warrior energy. So this person has managed, look at here, this energy. This is basically saying he's put down at least one wand and he's decided to take action still. Maybe he's thinking, he's out in the field here and he's going, you know what? I'm going to put this wand down too. And I'm just going to take these 8 wands home. And I'm going to, this doesn't really belong to me. I don't need that. And maybe this is saying I'm going to hire someone to paint that house. And I'm going to hire someone to also clean it. That will be a big weight off my mind. That's what I'm going to do. So this is the energy. And so it's finding those solutions. Then we have the energy of the 8 of Swords. And I feel like this has been weighing heavy on him. And it's almost the weight of the thought of, if you've ever had that experience where you're in this energy and you're already wondering oh man, how much longer can I keep this up? I'm so busy and I'm putting so many hours in. And the thought of anything else added to your plate can be overwhelming. But as soon as you work through those thoughts and you find solutions, then you realize it was more the thought of it. And it was actually way easier to find the creative solutions than you thought. That's the kind of energy of this. This is like a mental prison. And I feel that this is saying that she's about to walk away from this. In the beginning, there was a lot more water here, but she has now put 7 thoughts behind her here. And this 8th thought, she's like, yeah, put that one down too. I don't need to carry that burden. That's someone that doesn't even belong to me. I'm happy with taking these 8 wands into my home here. And I've put down 2 of them that are burdens, and I'm going to also hire that person. That's the step of action that I'm going to take. And this is no longer feeling duty bound by it. And it's also talking about being willing to leave the castle. These are the thoughts she has put behind her, and she's ready to take this sword, cut herself free, take the blindfold off and say, I can handle this, And this is because she was like the Knight of Wands. She figured out, okay, I'm going to discipline my mind and I'm going to plug in. What do I really want in my heart? And sometimes this can even talk about the thoughts of other people behind her back as she was doing this. Like if there was a third party energy deciding, you know what, that doesn't belong to me, that belongs to them. I'm not going to feel shame for them. I'm going to move forward in a strong way. And then the sun comes out. Woohoo! So this is about being happy and saying, I am, and this is you when you were a child, and as you as a child of God. This basically is this banner from back here, and you're carrying that banner with ease. Like, even though it's a small child, this is your destiny, and you're like fearless, and no saddle, no fear, no reins. All the sunflowers turning with you to the sun. The sun is representing God's energy and being on your path of glory and feeling very happy. And this is how you're meant to be. This is God. And when this card shows up, it's like, okay, now this is the happiest card in the deck, and God is shining light on all of this, on the truth of what is really going on, what belongs to, like putting things back into divine order here, healing your heart because you deserve it. And Stella, oh, you want to, like, I don't know. She's been eating so much. I've been feeding her before the readings and I forgot, but I just fed her 2 hours ago. And she's like, you're not going to feed me in the middle of the reading? No, I'm not. So be a good girl. So this is talking, be a good girl and sit on my lap and purr like you usually do. You're being a pain in the butt. All right, this is the Three of Pentacles saying you are now in an elevated position. You've made strong choices. This is saying other people are wanting to collaborate with you. Sometimes this card has a negative connotation, but I don't feel it does here. There might have been some energy in the past, like, that with these burdens. I feel like this is saying the justice is coming through. So this sometimes does represent signing contracts and making agreements and then finding out after that they weren't in alignment with your goals. Sometimes it can represent secret society energy and, things in the contract that you didn't notice, and now maybe that's why you've been so busy. But some sort of reality check, some sort of tower hit. And if you've been in your truth and you've been doing all this inner work, the Wheel of Fortune is turning for you. And what do we have here? From the bottom going up to the top and back down again, we have fresh energy coming in, like a breath of fresh air, new love coming in. This could be after a divorce, or it could be the King of Swords. That's the only king we have here that is wanting to offer you, propose to you in some way. Or this could represent just being in an energy of loving yourself again, or moving forward with something you love to do or be, and just feeling free again to be yourself, getting back in touch with your authentic desires. And so this is getting out of that, putting down burdens that don't belong to you, feeling like you are no longer in this mental prison. And here we're talking about if there has been some energy around this, there are some court cards here, like about legalities. So if there's been some shifty business from people that behind your back have been directing negative thoughts towards you, putting you in this energy, you may have hired a lawyer, and this could be representing now that you're being able to move forward in a life that you love to have. Out of the mud comes, out of the mud comes the energy of, happiness, like the beauty of life. And we do have, we have the Wheel of Fortune turning in your favor if there is some sort of justice coming in. This reality check, the tower is uncomfortable for everybody, but if you're not the one that caused it, everybody has to take responsibility somewhat in their relationships for sure. But if you're not the one that stepped out of the relationship, then this reality check is going to go in your favor. So your life the truth is going to set you free as long as you're in that energy of wanting to move forward and get to the truth. And then this is talking about quite often, maybe a year from now, you'll be saying, that tower was the best thing that happened. But when you're in it, it sucks. And then this is talking about, having some time and a better lifestyle for yourself again. And it's because you quieted your mind and were able to get in touch with your authentic desires. So that is I feel like getting out of this cutthroat energy, especially if this was a divorce energy, not fighting for a shift that you don't really want, getting in touch with what you really want so that you can have harmony and use your words, especially towards yourself, wisely. And, like with harmony. So you want to create that for yourself. So this is, good advice. I feel that this could be about a divorce situation that you're just coming out of, but for some people, and for some it could be a business partnership that didn't work out. It could be an argument with family members or friends or that type of energy. And they might have had some very negative thoughts, but when you forgive, it's not saying that you want to hang out with them anymore. It's not saying that you condone their actions. It's saying that, you know what, I am worth healing. Like, I'm worth it. I deserve to have a good life. I deserve to have love in my life. I'm not going to stand here and regret and remorse for the rest of my life when God is offering me this love of having a good life again. So it's making that decision that you love yourself enough to move forward. I'm going to clarify this for those that want clarification. If you're leaving the reading here now, thank you for your time and energy, likes and comments. And if you subscribe, I'm totally honored. I'm going to just check the numbers on these cards. I just want to let you know that this, I have a website, talesfromthevector.com, and there's a gallery. And these are, the paintings are, the numbers on here represent the paintings in the order that they're listed on there. If you're in the mood for checking it out, you can. I will list what comes up here in the reading. It might give you further clarity. So, yeah, we have, well, of course, this superstar energy we already talked about speaking your truth from the heart and with passion in your life. And that gives you passion for being able to move forward in a really strong way. Instead of being like angry and in this conflict energy, cutthroat energy, moving forward in a much stronger way. We have lack of awareness. Yeah. This is a karmic space we can fall into. And I found from doing a lot of these readings that this is talking about, when love is blind, bottom line. Like a lot of times we underestimate how much we care about. If it's someone we care about, we don't want to believe that they would cheat on us or put us in this energy. So we avoid that truth for as long as we can. But eventually you're going to have to face it. The Emperor is talking about high-level performance in your commitments, marriage, and partnerships. So that, as I said, that could be, this could be about a divorce for a lot of people, I feel. It also could be about business, something like that. And family, that sort of, and there's a lot of anger also involved. Like, so you have to work through it, because anger is the gift that keeps on giving. And so you can motivate yourself through anger, but eventually it's going to become very acidic. And it can be handed down from generation to generation. Angry people raise angry people. And before you know it, you've got several generations that are angry. And the ones that are at the bottom don't even know what they're angry about. They just know they're supposed to be angry. And so the destruction, that's not really very good progress. This is talking about the Wheel of Fortune moving forward in progress. Like, this will be actual, rather than, sometimes this energy of the tower can feel like destruction, things blowing up, and you're like, just, oh my goodness, like, what am I going to do? But out of that can come progress. And then we have the foolhardy energy. You can anticipate a strong journey. If you heal this and you can get in touch with your authentic desires and you get to the truth and you are strong to having love again in your life, just for yourself first and foremost, it creates harmony within. Harmony within creates harmony without. So you start attracting a more harmonious energy, being in that energy. We have that, this is saying it's a huge energetic upgrade. Take note of, take stock of what you have and move forward with what's working, and lay down anything that you can that is burdening you. We have, this one was first. They're sticking together here. We have dissemination of information. This is like when there's an elephant in the room and you don't have the courage to take a look at it because you're too tired, because you're, And it happens. Like life can get really hard sometimes, so busy that you're like, oh, what else? Like I can't put one more thing on my plate. So that's when we just pretend it's not happening, basically. Elephant, what elephant? And so a lot of times to motivate people, people will say, oh, you have to believe in yourself, but be careful of your limiting beliefs about yourself, because a lot of people have limiting beliefs about themselves, and those can be like, I don't deserve better than this, I'm not smart enough to be able to get that degree, I don't deserve to put my money into my education, that sort of energy. And so be careful about have faith in your path, and do the inner work that you need to do to be strong, to moving forward in a strong way. Use your intuition as well as your logic so that you can have reckless abandon, WRECK. That's when you have discipline of your mind and you're going after your heart's desires. The moon, the full moon and the new moon is when we tend to be more highly intuitive. So it's saying take advantage of those phases. And look we have the sun coming after that if you do so. So we have the sun showing up twice in this reading. And I do feel that this is about love for yourself. I feel like this is saying you could have new love coming in, but I don't feel that this is a love reading. I feel this is more of a having love for yourself, speaking highly to yourself about yourself, using harmonious words, singing, getting into this sunny energy. Falling and failing in love is a matter of eye. So that's talking about the heart chakra. So definitely, opening your heart up to this healing. And so instead of sitting in anger, you unfetter your heart. You cut these binds off, and you love yourself. You talk to yourself like you're someone special. You be careful of the words that you use to yourself. And this is also about surrendering. I feel that there's two things here. This is like a psychic cleanse. You might have ancestors that are watching over you here, and they're, maybe have been whispering to you, do this. And they're like, I feel like this is the more that you get in touch with your authentic desires, the less that you overthink things here. And the more that you're able to, get into this harmonious energy. I really love to see this. So surrendering to God's plan, basically. Like if you don't know what to do, go and meditate and, pray and ask for assistance. If you don't have people that you trust in your life because something has happened here, you can trust in God's plan and God's timing, and just ask for that assistance. All right, this is a really good reading, really good advice, and it's talking about times are really, it is weird energy right now for sure. Like it can get really heavy at times. So just really look after yourself. You need to do that, and speak highly of yourself to yourself. That's mostly using harmonious words to yourself. Talk to yourself like you would talk to someone that you care about. I hope you've enjoyed this. I've learned a lot from this reading. Give it a like and comment. Consider subscribing. I would be honored if you did so. And I will be back with another daily tarot Tattle Tales from the Vector reading for you again tomorrow. Bye for now.